Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Ahmad zahran wahyudin dengan NIM 2645093. Hari ini akan menjelaskan tentang hallmark event Tour de France. Tour de France adalah ajang balap sepeda jalan raya profesional paling bergengsi di dunia. Event ini merupakan salah satu dari 3 Grand Tour dalam olahraga sepeda. Bersama Giro di Italia dan Vuelta a España, perlombaan berlangsung selama sekitar 3 minggu dan terdiri dari berbagai etap, dari jalan datar, perbukitan, pegunungan sampai time trial. Tour de France pertama kali diselenggarakan pada tahun 1903. Ajang ini awalnya dibuat oleh surat kabar olahraga Prancis bernama El Auto sebagai cara untuk meningkatkan perhatian dan jumlah pembaca. Seiring waktu, Tour de France berkembang dari kompetisi olahraga menjadi salah satu event olahraga tahunan yang paling terkenal di dunia. Ciri khas Tour de France adalah sistem etap dan berbagai jersey penghargaan, terutama Maillot Jaune atau Yellow Jersey yang diberikan kepada pemimpin klasemen umum berdasarkan total waktu tercepat. Berikut adalah video dari Tour de France 2026. Tour de France 2026 merupakan edisi ke-113 yang berlangsung 4-26 Juli 2026. Perlombaan dimulai di Barcelona, Spanyol, kemudian melintasi Prancis dan berakhir di Paris. Total rutenya sekitar 3.327 km. Terdiri dari 21 etap dengan 184 pembalap dan 23 tim. Berikut ini video dari Tour de France 1989. Edisi ini menjadi yang paling berkesan dalam sejarah karena Greg LeMond berhasil memenangkan perlombaan dengan selisih hanya 8 detik dari Laurent Fignon. Selisih tersebut merupakan margin kemenangan terkecil dalam sejarah Tour de France. Kemenangan LeMond semakin menarik karena ditemukan pada etap terakhir melalui individual time trial dan penggunaan teknologi aerobar yang saat itu masih tergolong inovatif.
And look at the scene around the Festina team cars. That's Richard Virenque getting into one now. We have gotten word that Team Festina has met with Jean-Marie Leblanc, the Director General of the Tour de France. We do not know yet whether or not they plan to show up and try to ride in today's time trial. The tears running down the cheeks of a sports hero here in France. We'll try to have an update when we come back. Hi everybody, I'm Terry Gannon. Welcome to our coverage of the 85th Tour de France. It's certainly been an exciting first week so far, but not all of the major developments have been of a positive nature. Last night, Jean-Marie Leblanc, the Director General of the Tour de France, issued a statement saying that Team Festina, the #1 team in the world, with stars like Richard Virenque and Alex Zula, has been removed from this year's tour. Now, this comes on the heels of an admission by the lawyer for Bruno Roussel, the team manager, that there was a doping plan in place for the use of performance-enhancing drugs under strict medical supervision. We welcome in right now a man who has been a part of 26 Tours de France. It's amazing to say that, Mr. Phil Liggett. But this has got to be one of the most disturbing developments you've seen.
It's being talked about, in fact, Terry, as the blackest day in the history of the Tour de France, and the history which goes back, by the way, to 1903. What we have to remember at this moment in time, the riders are disqualified from the Tour de France, and yet they are guilty of absolutely nothing. They're certainly not given any positive dope tests. They are saying at the hotel earlier this morning they are going to come down and try and start in the race. Well, we'll find out later.
Well, the individual time trial, the first one at least, is a day that is normally a turning point. It's a day when the names that will be prominent on the Champs-Élysées at the end of the Tour begin to emerge. What about the Festina issue? How does that affect what's going to happen today?
Well, we would have looked to a rider like Alex Zula, who is the current world time trial champion, to go for the win today, although the course practically may not suit him that well. And, of course, Richard Virenque, he was second in the race last year. There's the world champion on the road, Laurent Brochard. They are names we may not see in action today. But, you know, they would have been challenged anyway by the top time trial riders. Laurent Jalabert is a very good bet today, and he is the French champion. And also Jan Ullrich, last year's final winner, and his teammate Bjarne Riis. They will still be the names going for gold today.
Well, the first individual time trial, always a major part of the Tour de France, but there's no question the major story today, the Team Festina issue. For more on that, let's check in right now with Adrian Karsten.
Terry, thanks very much. I'm standing here with Jean-Claude Keely, president of the Tour de France committee. Jean-Claude, question, what is your position on the current state of affairs with Team Festina?
Well, it's very clear from the start. As, we could not do anything unless proven guilty. And now we have a lawyer who said Mr. Roussel told everything to the judge and said he was using unauthorized product, and therefore we cannot keep the team on the Tour de France, and we are terribly sorry about it, because it's a beautiful team. There is a lot of terrific riders in it that we definitely love, and but there is no other way for us to do it. Us and UCI, as you know, we are not alone on this decision.
It has been reported this morning that every athlete, to a man from Team Festina, will show up this morning in his team uniform, ready to ride in today's individual time trial. What is going to happen if they show up here?
We don't have this information yet. They have been banned from the Tour, and there is no way they will be able to ride on this stage. I am terribly sorry about that.
Jean-Claude, thank you very much for your time. Terry?
All right, Adrian, so that story continues to develop, and it will be interesting to see what takes place if the Festina riders show up at this.
Possible that anything like this could compare with anything that's gone before with 1986 when you
nothing compares. Nothing.
After all the arithmetic about the time trial, did you really think that it was going to be possible?
I thought it was possible, but when I warmed up today, I didn't think it was possible because we had such a strong tailwind. And when you have a strong tailwind, it's hard to make a difference, but I didn't know it until I crossed the line. Unbelievable.
Kathy's reaction. Kathy,
I can't believe
what's your
you did
feeling?
I never
Did you think you could do it?
No. I thought like 1%. So incredible. I can't believe
Laurent Fignon had become part of an intricate plot, a plot which he thought he had mastered, a plot which would end with him riding down the Champs-Élysées and winning the Tour de France, his third. But as we've been saying for 3 weeks, the clock doesn't understand those dreams, and neither does the Tour de France. And so the final standing.
Itu dia penjelasan singkat mengenai hallmark event Tour de France. Thank you.
In the smallest margin ever recorded in this race, 8 seconds. That was the difference, about a football field, after 2,031 miles in the Tour de France. Pedro Delgado finishes third, and Andy Hampson, a major disappointment for the United States 7-11 effort.